Hello, and thank you for joining me for this time to share some highlights from our research on work integrated learning within Ontario's college sector. Dr. Kathleen Clark's work broadly examines the experiences of specific subgroups of post-secondary students and the student service supports they use throughout their educational journey. Although Kathleen cannot be with us today, I am able to share today and relay any questions. So let's get started. Concerning the rationale and the background for this research, within graduate studies at Wilfrid Laurier University, I started to explore the impact of work integrated learning upon competencies, identity development, and graduate employability for students. And as I was examining needed attention on this topic, it coincided with my role at the iHub with CEWIL Canada. The term college can have a variety of meanings. In Canada, however, the term is used to differentiate between university or college. Within the college sector, the creation of the Institutes of Technology and Advanced Learning, or ITALs, in 2003 created differentiation, whereby ITALs were now different than colleges of applied arts and technology. Research can be found on WIL within Canada's university sector, but little can be found on the college sector. Yet Colleges and Institutes Canada represents a total of 139 publicly funded colleges and institutes across the country, so research in this area is warranted. And WIL is integral to the development and the focus of college education in Ontario. It is inherently part of its origin, being rooted in economic development. Most Ontario colleges were formed around the late 60s to respond to industry and community needs. As education has increasingly been focusing on competency-based credentials, it has established Ontario colleges to entrench WIL into its strategic mandate agreements and program development. So due to the sparsity of the literature on the college sector, it prompted me to dig deeper into the topic. And bringing this to Laurier's graduate studies, Kathleen and I discovered the need for an environmental scan of the sector and started with a manageable sample. However, the implications of these gaps are that more needs to be researched and documented within the college sector to better assess, monitor, enhance, and establish policies. A key point is that the very research that's needed for enhancement and policy directives is not inherent in the college institutional structure. So it needs to be an integral part of the results seen and the work that is already being done. The hypothesis or the assumptions, or what we know from experience in the sector, is that the majority of WIL college practitioners operate with the expectation that WIL is a strong determinant on graduate employability. And the benefits of experiential and WIL are well documented in Canada. It is seen as an ideal strategy to future-proof the Canadian economy, and it supports the origins of colleges in Canada. In Ontario, many colleges were created in response to a demand for increased access to post-secondary education, and the enrollment numbers are increasing at alarming rates. Reports indicated that Ontario colleges not only make participation in WIL a key component to program completion, but are mandated to include it for their funding. The growing commitment, participation, and results of WIL within Ontario's college sector is something that could be highlighted, expanded upon, and celebrated. The research questions focused on the following: what literature exists focused on WIL on the college sector in Ontario specifically? And then secondly, what content is shared about WIL requirements across institutional websites of a sample of colleges in Ontario? So let's talk about the findings that arose in our study. Conceptualizing WIL. The increasing recognition that experience is an integral component of post-secondary education has created a need for clarity of terminology that is used in reference to WIL. Examination of the literature and the college websites revealed that nomenclature in this area is complex and refers to a variety of terms. So some ambiguity exists between the concepts of WIL. And current work within the Canadian context suggests that a WIL typology requires explanation because the terms are often used interchangeably. The complexity of language that we found in the literature and on institutional websites is consistent. Some institutions are actually creating stakeholder materials to better distinguish between the various forms of WIL that may not be just co-op or whatever form organizations may be familiar with. In conceptualizing WIL, CEWIL outlines 3 ways in which student experience is embedded. The first includes all experiential learning that is embedded in the program or course design. So this could include curricular work that is demonstrated in field experience, simulation, labs, project-based coursework, and some research found regional differences in the references to the terminology in Canada, and these differences in expectations affect the implementation of WIL at institutions. The more central WIL, work integrated learning, that obtains accreditation consideration is experiential embedded in the program design that includes a third-party engagement that is often referred to as the host organization. These include the 9 forms of WIL that are defined by the Quality Assurance Council. The third type of experiential learning students obtain is valuable student-driven participation, and this is not embedded in program or course design, and these can often be extracurricular experiences that could include a variety of student activities. The next finding looked at the organizational structure and the delivery models of the WIL initiatives and centers. The first delivery model is centralized, where all forms of WIL and services are coordinated through one department, typically where direction for coordination is done through a co-op, career, or experiential learning center. The next structural model is one that is decentralized, where all forms of WIL are coordinated in other departments, usually within the respective academic schools and/or program areas. And in most cases, decentralized models will see various practitioners in the academic departments coordinating the WIL components. The third structure is a hybrid delivery, where there could be a combination of the previous 2 delivery models. And our analysis revealed that most colleges we looked at utilize a hybrid delivery model, typically seen where there is co-op and career center, and other forms of WIL are handled in the other academic areas. Another finding revealed evidence that there is intensified focus on WIL, and this was evident through strategic mandate agreement requirements for mandatory WIL participation and entrepreneurial innovative WIL opportunities. Ontario SMAs have created the impetus for many colleges to incorporate WIL into their programs, and many have made this a top priority by including it in 100% of their career-focused programs. This increased commitment to WIL was demonstrated in some colleges agreeing to include WIL with each program renewal and new program going forward. Participation findings indicated that students enrolled in WIL-related programs at Ontario colleges have mandatory requirements to complete these experiential credits as part of their course completion. One college's creative focus extends into offering different students who have fresh, innovative ideas for their employer partners, proposing that they could hire a new co-op student every 4 months. Most colleges extended their commitment by dedicating consultants to specific programs. By offering a trimester format, they enhance the availability of student talent. Employers are capitalizing on this prospect for their talent pipeline. Entrepreneurial initiatives and innovation have become part of the DNA that Ontario colleges are integrating into their program delivery and strategic planning. However, in the research, these opportunities were entrenched as an automatic response in addressing economic drivers in the economy. Several colleges have entrepreneurial hubs to allow students to explore at the ideation, implementation, or enhanced execution stages. Some not only provide entrepreneurial supports for co-op students, but also offer collective labs to empower students in marketing, the gig economy, or venture initiatives. Inspiring entrepreneurship and social innovation, colleges establish programs to take it to the next level through resources, training, mentoring, and angel investors. Entrepreneurship is either weaved into the signature learning of the institution or accessed as viable options for students to integrate experience with their academic program completion. So these key findings in the areas of WIL conceptualization and typology, organizational structures and delivery models, increased commitments to WIL, mandatory participation, and entrepreneurial innovative opportunities highlighted further discussion regarding gaps and implications. As mentioned in our original hypothesis, the college sector is often overlooked in research focused on student affairs in Canada. More specifically, this impacted our review of the province of Ontario. So to better move forward in our understanding of gaps and implications, there needs to be a more extensive analysis of college sector data in research to better support the execution of WIL delivery. This could increase the effectiveness, build on unique strengths, better equip practitioners, and impact policy decisions. Recommendations for practice and research arose indicating that colleges in Ontario should highlight and document their unique strengths. College and employer partners in Ontario should continue to expand the mandatory WIL participation. Practitioners can build on innovation, entrepreneurship, and changing industry conditions. And then within research, there is a need to conduct a sector-wide environmental analysis in college WIL delivery models, organizational structure and functions, and further exploration of the conceptualization. Now, more recommendations are found in Chapter 14 of the new ebook publication, but my time has come to an end. So it was a pleasure to share some of the highlights of this research with you today. And if there are any questions, I would be glad to help and or consult with Dr. Kathleen Clark later.